Hello my dear students, today I am going to discuss about the derivation of saving curve from consumption curve. It means here you have the consumption curve, now you have to determine or derive saving curve from this consumption curve. So as you know that all the curve is based on a particular schedule. So unless you have no knowledge about the schedule, in that case it is very difficult to derive saving curve from the consumption curve or consumption curve from saving curve. Okay, so first of all, just I want to explain about the schedule. So in the previous video you have noticed that Y, that is the C, next is the S. So here there are three main components. Y is the national income, C is the consumption, and S is the saving. We also know that Y is equal to always C plus S. Okay, so suppose Y is 0, next 50, next 100, next 150, next 200, next so on, and consumption is suppose here, that is the 50, next 75, next 100, next 125, next 150. So first thing you always remember in your mind, there is no relation of consumption with income at the zero level of income. Okay, in other words we can say autonomous consumption has no any relation with income because it is the minimum consumption level for the survival. Even the people or in the economy, if there is no income, however the people will consume something. Either they will use the past saving or they will borrow. So in both the cases, if they borrow, it means it creates liabilities for making repayments, that's why their saving decreases. Or if they are using the past saving, it means their saving is declining. So how much the saving will decline? If you consume the 50, it means your saving will be 50. Next minus 25, next that is 0, next 25, next 50, and so on. So here we have to derive this, that is the saving curve from the consumption curve. So first of all, I am going to make the consumption curve with the help of given data. So if there are two axes, okay, one is the x-axis, other is the y-axis. Is it clear? So on the y-axis, that is the consumption is given. And on the x-axis, that is the income is given. Clear? So let consumption is, that is suppose 25, next 50, next 75, next 100, next next 125, next 150, and so on. And here that is the income, that is the 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, and so on. So it indicates the income and it indicates the consumption. Clear? When the income is, that is 0, the consumption is 50, it is known as autonomous consumption, and that is known as, it is denoted with the help of C bar. When the income increases, his consumption also increases and it becomes, that is 75. Next, the income is 100, consumption is also 100. Next, the income is 150, the consumption is 125. When the income is 200, consumption is 150. So in this way, the consumption line is moving. That is the C. Okay? And income, that will be drawn at an angle of 45 degree, because we know that y is equal to C plus S. Is it clear? So this is our income line and it is drawn at an angle of 45 degree. So what you find? If you find that it is a point, suppose E is the point where C is equals to Y, it means at this level, that is known as the break-even point. Break-even point. Is it clear? So here C is greater than Y, and at this point C is equals to Y, and after break-even point, the consumer is not willing to spend whole income on consumption. They want to save a particular part of their income, and that's why Y is greater than C. So income line goes above and consumption line is below. So now we have to derive, that is the saving curve, with the help of this consumption curve. Now we will draw the two axes. One is the x-axis and other is the y-axis. So on the x-axis, here income is taken, and on the y-axis I have taken saving. Okay, and this is the suppose 0, and in front of, just here the income is 50, again take that is the 50. Next here the income is 100 at the same point, and if we draw here, that is the income 150, 100, that is the 50, just below it that is the 200, just below it that is the 250, and so on. Is it clear? Now when the income is 0, our consumption is 50 minus 50, it means that must be equals to this one, that is our saving, and if that is equals to minus 50. So this is the minus 25. When the income is, that is 50, the saving is minus 25. So in front of the income or just below the income, we will locate the point for saving. Here the income is 100, saving is 0. So if we draw a line, we find that C is equals to Y, means 100 is equal to 100, means saving has become 0. Clear? And if that is the 25, next that is the 50. So when the income is 150, the saving is 25. When income is 200, the saving is 50. So in this way, the saving line is passing through this and indicates the saving line, and we have already derived the consumption line from the saving line. But here there is a question will come in your mind, how we will explain this diagram. So first of all, first point you will write on the y-axis, that is the consumption and saving is taken, and on the x-axis, that is the income. when the income is 0, consumption is, that is the 50, and that's why the consumption line starts from the positive area of the y-axis, whereas at the same time the saving is minus 50. That's why the saving line starts from the y-axis again, but it starts from the negative area. As the income increases, consumption also increases, but consumption increases at a slow rate. That's why the saving is increasing continuously. This is the point E, where C is equals to Y, or you can say APC is equal to 1. So at this level, when the APC is 1, then what will be the APS? So APS is equal to 1 minus APC is equal to 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So APS at this point, that is the APS is equal to 0, and that's why the saving line touches the x-axis and the saving becomes 0. Or we can say at 100 level of income, consumption is equals to income, that's why the saving becomes 0. After that, after the break-even point, if the consumption or income both increases, but consumption increases at a slow rate, that's why the consumption line is below the y-axis. Due to that reason, the saving will become positive. So this is the positive saving and this is our negative saving, and that is also known as this saving. In this way, we can calculate we can derive the saving curve from the consumption curve. Like that, if the question comes that the derive consumption curve from saving curve, in that case the saving curve will go upward and the consumption curve will come just below, and the process will be the same. So in this way, I hope you will be able to solve this question, and it is the most important question. So many times this question is asked in the board exam. So be careful, and if you have any doubts, you are free to ask related to that questions. Okay, now come to the next topic, that is the investment function. So in this video, you will find the investment function. Okay, so investment function is what? It is the total expenditure. This is the expenditure incurred on the creation of new capital. This is the most important term. The investment means the expenditure which is incurred for the generation or for the creation of new capital. So what are our capitals? So our capitals may be machinery, building, equipments, raw materials, etc. So this is the most important things to increase the size of the business, to increase the output, to increase the productivity. So investment function has two heads, that is the induced investment and that is the autonomous investment. Now you have to understand what is the difference between the induced investment and autonomous investment. So first, that is the induced investment. Here I am making a diagram, here also I am making a diagram. So from this diagram you will be able to understand in a better way. So on the x-axis, that is the income is taken, and on the y-axis, that is the investment. Here also, that is the x-axis, this is the income, and here that is the y-axis, that is the investment. Clear? So first I am going to discuss this one, that is the autonomous investment. So autonomous investment is the investment which is done by the government. Okay, so it will remain constant at all level of income, and that's why it is known as income inelastic. Income inelastic. So income inelastic means what? Even though the income increase or decrease, it will remain constant, and II line is parallel to x-axis, and it is known as autonomous investment. Clear? Now, a question will come in your mind that autonomous investment is always constant at all level of income, then how the machinery, the buildings, the equipments and the raw materials will change? So here one thing always remember, this investment is basically done by the government. To whom this investment is done? It is done by the government. So why the government invest this amount? So next is the for social welfare. Is it clear? So this investment is basically done by the government for social welfare. Here there is no profit motive, and that investment is known as autonomous investment, and you may locate it with the help of IY. So whenever we discuss about the AD and AS, we always take I and it remain constant. So why it is all times that is the constant? Because we take this investment, and that is known as autonomous investment. Now come to the induced investment. So induced investment is, suppose the initial investment is this one I and this is the Y. Clear? Now if the income increases, suppose Y to Y1, so the investment will also increase from I to I1, and in this case the investment line moves upward. Okay, so it is income elastic. Income elastic, point number 1. Point number 2, for profit motive. So this investment is done by the industrialist to earn maximum profit, and this is known as induced investment. So this is the basic difference. It is done for social welfare, it is done for the profit motive, it is income inelastic, then it is income elastic, it is done by the government, it is done by the private consumption expenditure or private investment expenditure. Okay, so this is a part of investment function. Now come to the next, that is the linear equations. Linear equation. Okay, so linear equation has two parts. One is the one for the consumption and other for the saving. So we know that C is equal to C bar plus BY. Okay, so B is the MPC and Y is the national income. And C is the autonomous consumption. Clear? And it is also known as the minimum consumption level for survival. So it does not affect with the income. It does not change as income change. But MPC always change as income change. Clear? So C is equal to C bar plus BY, and that is known as the linear equation of consumption. It is for the consumption. Now come to the for the saving. So saving is equal to minus C bar plus 1 minus B Y. So as we know that APS is equal to 1 minus MPS is equal to 1 minus MPC, and B is the MPC, and that's why we can say MPS is equal to 1 minus B, and that is known as MPS. So here 1 minus B indicates MPS, Y indicates national income, and minus C bar, that is the minimum that is equals to autonomous consumption, but here there is no income, and that's why that is the minimum consumption level for survival, and that will be equals to this one, that is the in case of saving, and that's why this value is the same value, but it is the positive value, and the same positive value in case of saving will becomes the negative value of C. So here just I want to give you an example. We know that Y is equal to C plus S, then S is equal to what? That is Y minus C. So let Y is equal to 0, Y is equals to 0, and C is equal to 50, because for the survival of the life consumption never be 0, and let it is the 50. So what will be the saving? So 0 minus 50 is equal to minus 50. So it is at the when income is equal to 0 and consumption is 50, then the value of saving will be minus 50. So this is the positive value and this is the negative value. The same thing I have taken, that is the C bar and minus C bar. Is it clear? And that is known as linear equation. This equation is most important. Always keep it in your mind, because it will help you to solve a small numerical that will come in the exam. Now come to the next point, ex-ante saving. And so here that is the ex-ante saving and ex-ante investment. So when you will hear that word, you will get the something different. But ex-ante saving is also known as the planned saving. So planned saving means here the household plans to save at different level of income in the economy. So we know that the component of AD is equal to what? C plus I plus G plus X minus M, but in a standard 12 we have to study only C plus I. Clear? So after the consumption, they do not save. First of all, you will always keep it in your mind, that is the plans. They plans to save it. They plans to save their money at different, this is the most important term, different level of income in the economy. And that's why it is also known as intended saving, voluntary saving, okay, and planned saving. Like that, ex-ante investment, again here the term is used ex-ante, so it will become planned investment. Here firms plans to invest at different level of income. So here that is the firm and here that is the household, and that's why we say S is equal to always I. We do not take the actual saving. We always take the planned saving and the planned investment, because here the household is saving or planning to save at different level of income. On the other hand, here the funds are plans to invest at different level of income, and that's why we calculate S is always equals to I. But when we come to the next point, that is the ex post saving, it is known as the actual saving. So actual saving means it is the sum total of planned saving and the unplanned saving in a financial year. And ex post investment, that is the actual investment, it means it is the sum total of planned and unplanned investment in a financial year or in a year, and that is known as the ex post. So this is the basic difference. One is the planned and other is the actual. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the ex ante and ex post term. Okay, thank you.